Good evening. Now, of course, whatever was told about my steel industry background, definitely I'm not going to talk about that. Uh, I thought I can use this opportunity to take everybody back to 2011. I was in Libya, and then the civil war broke there against Gaddafi. I was looking after the business of Ispat overseas as a country head. There is a steel plant there, 1.6 million ton at Misurata, which is a place around 250 kilometers away from Tripoli. Takes around 2.5 hours or so. And then on 17th of February 2011, the civil war started. As most of you must be knowing, that it started from a place called Benghazi, which is very close to Egypt. Normally that region has been opposing Gaddafi all through, but then slowly it spread all across. As the war spread, now we were around 150 people from my company, and there were around 200 odd people, Indians, around that place of Misrata. So put together some 350 people from Indian origin. But then what started happening was that slowly the banks closed within 2-3 days, the shops started closing, the food no more was available. No daily necessities. Slowly they started vanishing from the market, because practically everybody started securing the stocks with them. Now our problem was that those 150 people, how to feed them, how to take them back. We started interacting with the government of India. The Indian ambassador in Libya those days, Miss Mani McLeod, she was a friend, she is a friend, and then she said, she is not in a position to move out at all. They can't extend any help, because if they move out, it's all possible that they will get killed, because on the streets there was gunfire everywhere. There were tanks moving, there were anti-aircraft guns all around. Where I was staying, 200 meters away from there were anti-aircraft guns and 2-3 tanks posted there. We had a harbor which was 2.5 kilometers away from our place. We had our own company's jetty there. So we thought possibly sea could be a way, but then the issue was the city control was taken over by the people. So practically suddenly the government or the government bodies vanished from the scene. It was in the hands of young people moving with guns and machine guns and going at random, whatever they felt like. It was absolutely lawless type of situation there. To add to our problem, there was a Air Force airport which was around 11 kilometers from our place. So both being strategic to the government, there was fierce fighting going on there. Actually, it was so happening that we were finding it so difficult to sleep in the night, when things are silent. You are only hearing the, bombs shelling and gunfire. In the day still, because there are a lot of other noises there, so you are not able to mark it. But in the night it was becoming so difficult, and then banging of your window panes and those type of things. So situation slowly was getting really grim. Food stocks are going down. There is no way we can really move because we don't know what to do. The internet is not working, the phone systems are not working. You move out, you see young boys moving with guns. You do not know what they will do the next moment. So I started approaching our Indian ambassador in Tripoli that you do something. She said the best I can do is put you across the foreign ministry. Actually, I was very keen. I was told Miss Nirupama Rao ji will be coming here. She was a foreign secretary then. So we started interacting. Whenever we were able to get through, we were trying to get across. We put a couple of people from our office in Delhi office so that they can put our case through. Tell everybody that it's not possible so easily for us to travel to Tripoli or to Benghazi from where the government of India was arranging for the airlifts. Because on the way of these 250 kilometers, either ways, if we go to Benghazi around 250 kilometers, if we go to Tripoli, 250 kilometers, we are right in the center, and there are, every alternate town is in the control of the opposite force. If one town is in the control of the government forces, the next one is in the control of the people. And practically, no driver was willing to drive because they were pretty sure anytime anything can happen. And you know that what happens during such type of situation when there was a scare of looting, of rapes or whatever. The situation was really, really terrible. Now the government of India, they initially stuck to this that no, come what may, you will have to travel to Tripoli at least. At Tripoli airport, you'll be amazed. From the airport, nearly 3 kilometers, there were people everywhere waiting to be sent out. Because Libya is a country which has very huge number of expatriates, very close to 50% of the total population, there are expatriates. And now people do not know how to, how to move out. It was so difficult. And there were rains during that period. Just imagine, from airport, kilometers, you see thousands and thousands of people sitting. You do not know when your turn will come, whether you will get food, whether you will stay alive, whether you will, really survive, or whether your, whatever belongings you have, whether those will be there. Or young girls, of course, they were damn worried. I'm just telling this story because if I go into the history, if I go on the net, I saw only 3 lines written, obviously, because it's just an event that, so much of Indians, they came out from Misrata to Malta and they were airlifted to India, back. That's all. But the story is not as simple. To add to all this, what happened when we were struggling and trying to convince the government of India that they must try to send a ship so that we can be first taken either to Europe. From there we can be airflown. We can't travel by road. Not workable. It has tremendous risk. We are young girls. We are young ladies. All sort of things are happening. And eventually we were in a position to convince that okay, they will consider, let them look for if a ship can really travel to the war-torn area. That is another problem. Nobody is willing. Who will try to go into those troubled seas and take the risk of a ship? Anyway, to add to our problem, nearly 100 people of our company, they sat on a strike. Hunger strike. They said, pay us every penny what we owe to the company. And then only we will move. Otherwise we will not leave the country till then. It was such a desperate situation. Getting to people, trying to tell them Gentlemen, save your life first. Let's get back home. Let's get back to our parent place. Then we can look into this money issues and all. But they won't listen. You know, strange is the human psyche when it comes to collective panic. I am from Punjab. My parents, my family suffered hugely during the partition of India. That was the time I understood what type of situation those people would have really gone through. When I saw no rationale, no logic, nothing sensible, they stuck to this. That pay us everything. I do not know how you do it. Make sure the money is either transferred from London or from Dubai or from Mumbai office, but our money should be in our accounts. Confirm it, we will check it, then we will leave the country. On 2nd of March, mind it, the war started on 17th of February and 2nd of March came. The food practically, we started thinking of whether we should eat now maybe one time a day during midday, or how to take care of the kids. The Libyans were so considerate, they sent us one truck full of food items. But they told me, Mr. Katial, this is the last. We too have to survive and we are going to be here. You have a choice, we don't. We'll have to stay here only. So it's very, very difficult because everybody has practically reserved everything for himself. It's very difficult. But we got one lot of food items. 3 days stock. After that again we do not know. Dastur's company, they were there but they left early on. Their company could organize one small ferry. They went from there to Italy and from Italy they came back India. So what we did was eventually I said, okay, open their mess, take out whatever is there. That was the type of situation. Standing here I am telling you that I told them, okay, whatever we are able to lay our hands on, please do that. We were not knowing how to manage. People sitting on strike on one end, Government of India taking its own time. It was very difficult. How to really make a solution to bring a solution to this whole issue. And then on 2nd of March, eventually, I got a mail from the Government of India, from the Embassy of Italy, Mr. Saurav Kumar. He wrote to me that the Government of India has agreed to send a ship of 700 people, 700 capacity. The Red Star 1 ship they have hired. But then you have to make sure that the screening of the people, they should be genuinely Indians. If not Indians, they have to be from friendly countries. You have to make sure that all passports or any authenticity of those people, you have to check. We cannot take anybody from a country which is not having good diplomatic relations with us, or anybody having a dubious record. It was so difficult. Get a clearance from Libyan authorities that you people can leave the country. Get a permission that you can use the harbour. We do not know to whom to go. You know, there is no administration, there is no government. To whom to go? But then they have put all these conditions. They started asking. Nevertheless, so I talked to the chairman of Libyan Steel. I said, I need a help. He said, you make a list, you let us go. I know the person who was head of administration here. I know where he is hiding. We'll just give him a copy and then you can quote that. Because at the moment, if he comes out, possibly he will vanish. So we submitted a copy to them, took a clearance for the use of Libyan steel jetty to put the ship. So gave a clearance to Government of India to send a ship to Misrata so that we can all go. And this news was spread all across. I think the Ministry of External Affairs, they have tweeted everywhere that I am the contact person, so I should be contacted. So people from all around that region, they started trying to contact or traveling straight away to the place where we were staying and trying to say that take us back home. But meanwhile, these 100 people sitting on hunger strike, they are not budging. And then I thought, okay, we will call the Libyan authorities and try to convince them. So we requested the chairman of Libyan Steel and two of the other directors to come so that we can address the crowd, explain to them that better first save your life. Go back. You have a choice. Tomorrow, God knows, a bomb may come in the camp and you will all get killed. So they came. They were being so nice. Not only they came, they brought a lot of dinars for us. I still remember, in a polythene full of dinars, they brought, they said, you have so many people. From wherever you can buy something for feeding these people. But more than that, money was also not available because banks were all closed. They brought money, they talked to the people, addressed them collectively. Nobody is listening. We will not go back. We want our money first. In the banks, confirmed. It was such a terrible situation. Then ships started sailing because we had given clearance. It was a ship from Greece. It started sailing, and then the Indian High Commissioner of Slovakia was temporarily stationed in Malta. There is a small island in the Mediterranean Sea, most of you may be knowing. It's a very small island, doesn't have an Indian establishment there. So he, Mr. Rajiv Mishra, he was posted for this operation, so that how to evacuate people from this region to Malta. And they told that they will send, rather I requested them to send some officials because things were really, it was so difficult to control people and how to. Because one was whatever our own countrymen had their demands. In addition, the moment it came to be known that there is a ship coming. Now every country, whether they were Filipinos, whether they are Bangladeshi, they were Pakistanis, they all started approaching us to take us. So it was very, very difficult to control the crowds, how to tell them that we can't take. So we made a system, talking to the Ministry of External Affairs, that we can have a system whereby if their ambassador writes to me, gives me in writing, then we can permit them along with us in case the ship has a capacity. We thought some 350, 400 Indians are there. The ship has a capacity of 700, maybe 60, 70 crew, so we can take some people. And we did that also. We brought, we ultimately cleared the Filipinos and Bangladeshis, quite a number, I think some 30 numbers or so. Pakistanis, we could not, because the diplomatic relations were not fine. But it was not that simple. You see people just lying outside your house crying, save us, take us, please, take us to at least outside Libya, leave us somewhere, but take us out. At the same time, there were some Indian families, they said they don't want to leave, no conditions. They were there in Libya for a very long time. They won't listen. They said we want to stay back. Actually, eventually many of them stayed back. It has been a very, strange type of situation, but then this is what it was. Then, because our people were not really agreeing to move out, and the ship was hardly 12-13 hours away, then I requested Mr. Mishra, the ambassador from Slovakia, that I'll have a telecon with you on a speakerphone. Please tell them that the government whether you will send second ship or you can't send second ship. So he ultimately told them that Government of India's responsibility will be over once this ship moves out from the harbour. The government's responsibility is over. Even after that, of course, lot of people agreed. 18 people still did not. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of more time, but I think I have. Please. So, eventually, those 18 families still said they will not go, come what may. Ship arrived, and then to our horror we found the ship was a hatchback, the ship which was coming, so it cannot be brought to the jetty of Libyan Street. So it has to go to a commercial harbour, and the commercial harbour was totally blocked. All the roads were blocked, all the roads were blocked because of security reasons, and they were not permitting anybody to enter that area. And then suddenly in the night, when the ship was already on the move, it was expected to reach in the morning, there was a panic calls from the camps around the place that some boys have come and they want to pick up some girls. And they said, there was a complete panic all around. So we rushed there. And then we brought some 115 girls and 3 old men who were not well to our camp where we were staying. How to bring them? No buses, no vehicles, no drivers. But really I am very grateful. Whenever I think of, I feel really, really grateful to the Libyan people. They somehow arranged for the drivers. They brought 3 buses. We brought all these girls into the camp, kept them there in different houses. Everybody shared responsibility. We stood guard there because they were totally tormented. And eventually the ship came, and these 18 families, they are not willing. They still say, pay us our money. The ship has come, people started getting to the buses to go to the harbour. And eventually what happened? And we are going and requesting them, but they won't listen. Then one of our senior general manager, Mr. Sood, was there. So he came there and he said, okay, let's get some knives, butcher knives, and let us kill him. Let us kill Mr. Katial. So let's kill him and get our money. So there was a lot of drama there. Practically, nobody was able to understand as to how it is going to help. He was trying to make a point that, how he can really ensure that you get your money. So if you want to kill him, you better kill him, but you take your calls. And eventually I was dragged away from there, taken to the place from where the buses were moving, and then we saw after some half an hour, 45 minutes, these 18 families one by one started coming. I'm great to share that we, as promised, did not leave even a single willing Indian back there who wanted on some conditions or so to come. So eventually from there we traveled to the harbor. And there, to our horror, we found out some 300 Bangladeshis are already there, that they'll get to the ship. Whether you permit or not, now how to control. I mean, it was so difficult, so difficult to hold on to that crowd. But eventually, the Libyan people only helped us. We could hold whosoever was cleared as per the list, only those were permitted. Other people, we could not bring them. We left. Only want to share that the government of India, for travelling from Misurata to this island of Malta, which is less than 500 kilometers, around 250 nautical miles. Government of India paid 83,000 rupees per person. That was the level of money which had to be dished out. So we feel very grateful. Normally we do criticize our government, but I have seen in the time, how they have really stood by their people. And eventually we travelled from there to Malta. From Malta, then we were airlifted, and I'm standing here, all fine. None of us lost anything, not a personal injury, not a personal harm, not a material loss, nothing. So that has been the story which I thought I must share with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Katial. Wars do make for great tales,